Welcome back to Pace Law Firm, talking with immigration lawyer Andy Semichek. Andy, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Immigration Roundup today.
Yes.
With so we're shooting this in October. We've got a Canadian election coming up. There's election stuff going on in the States.
Right.
Lots of there's stuff going on in Europe. I mean, where do you
Yes.
want to start?
Well, let's start with Canada.
Go for it.
All right. Well, main things in Canada are election-wise. I did an article in Forbes where I analyzed the party positions a little bit. But I just want to say the main thing, the main issue I think that we should be looking at is processing times. They're long, people are frustrated with processing, and whoever gets elected, hopefully they can address the challenge of speeding up the processing of immigrant visas. And I think the way to do that is call in consultants, people who know how to process things. The Toyota way, for example, or FedEx or Amazon. Call in some of these experts to help them figure out a way of getting this paperwork through the plumbing in the government to out, so people can get their loved ones into Canada in that way.
Okay.
Now, one important thing from in the investor's point of view is that the Quebec Investor Program is open and accepting applicants who would be interested in immigrating to Canada, provided, of course, they live in Quebec.
Right.
So that's something new there. There's
Now-
other things, but those are the main ones.
Really quickly, recap on Quebec. What net worth, amount invested? What?
Oh, the amount you're investing is 800,000 Canadian over a 5-year period of time. There are arrangements where you can essentially get a financial institution to lend that money to the government in your name, where you pay just a flat rate of 220,000 Canadian.
Right.
You have to be worth $1.6 million. Those are the basics of that
Parameters.
program. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so that's Canada in a nutshell. Moving on to the United States, of course, there's an election in the United States going on as well.
A year to go, but they're already talking about it.
Yeah,
It's
and
all over the news,
immigration is a big issue
Big time.
because of Trump mainly,
Yeah.
and his promise to deport all illegal immigrants, all 11 million of them, and build a big wall with Mexico, etc.
And you said it would be a beautiful wall.
Oh, yeah.
With a beautiful door and stuff. Yeah.
But not terribly realistic in terms of how you would address these issues. Again, I wrote a Forbes article on that subject. If anybody's interested to get into depth in that. The investor program in the United States was renewed. They had a sunset provision. It's called the EB5 program, where you invest $500,000 for a period of 5 years, interest-free or with little interest, and you get the money back at the end of 5 years, but you get a green card for that, that is to say, permanent residence. That was renewed for a short period of time until December 11th. They have this sunset provision that they're going to have to deal with. Likely, the amount and other aspects of the program are going to change between now and December, so that when it is renewed, there'll be likely a requirement to invest more money and more stringent controls. So if someone's interested in investing in the U.S. to get a green card, probably now would be a good time to do it if you still want to go on this 500,000 route.
When people hear the word sunset provision, that doesn't mean that investor immigration is shutting down. Like in terms, because I know that people, there was a big furor when Canada shut down
Right.
the Canadian investor immigration program. Not the same in the States?
Well, it could be shut down, but it's very doubtful that it will be shut down.
Okay.
The sunset means as of this date, it'll shut down unless they renew it.
Okay.
So that's what the story is there.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the U.S. And of course, then Europe, you mentioned briefly, we've got all
Right.
these tons of immigrants coming over from North Africa, et cetera, basically from the hot spots, Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq. I wrote an article on that on Forbes as well, if someone's
Right.
interested.
You've been a busy little writer, haven't
Oh,
you?
yes, constantly,
It's good.
And, well, the basic gist there is it seems like there's some settlement issues that have begun to be addressed. Germany is now processing these people, etc. So there's hope that somehow they'll deal with these problems in Europe.
Right. I don't want to get into it too deeply, but you have written quite a bit about it, about the refugee program, and we
Right.
can put up a link to the blog there.
Great,
For
great.
people to go to your stuff. And what else you got? You got some personal news too,
Oh,
right?
yes. My website has
Yes.
been revamped, and it'll be up. So anybody who's interested can go to myworkvisa.com, and you'll see all the new links and everything there.
I had a sneak peek. It looks pretty good.
Thank you.
I have to admit, it looks really, really good. Good
Great.
job.
Yeah.
Andy, thanks a lot for talking. We'll talk probably next month, catch up with another immigration roundup. For now, people can contact you at asemichuk@pacelawfirm.com.
Right.
Okay, we'll see you next time.